Hello, math students. You're looking at Mr. Vade's desktop screen here. The goal of this lesson is to get you thinking more algebraically, writing more equations, and using those equations to solve for unknown quantities, or in this case, a variable that we will call x. Um, you see on this page or on this screen here a rectangle. Its entire area, meaning the amount of space that it takes up on its flat inside surface, is 52 meters squared. You're given some dimensions. The length of its base is 5x minus 2. The height of the base is 4 meters. Some people will call this the length. Some people will call this the width. Um, Certainly you can call them that. Length of the base, width of the base. They're also known as the length of the base is b, and then also this can also be height of the base, h. We'll go with area is equal to base times height, and we'll just use the terms base and height for this two-dimensional base that we see here. So what do you do now? How do you determine what x is? Here's x. We need to figure out what x is. Once we find out x, we can actually get an actual length of this base over here. We can determine the length of the base. Once we determine the length of the base, we could even find the perimeter of the figure by adding up all four sides, as you have to do when you calculate the perimeter. But in order to even know what the value of or the length of this side is, we need to be able to figure out what x is and then plug that in. You know, this side here and this side here, they're parallel. So the length of this side is equal to the length of this side because they're parallel. And the length of this height, or the height of this height, is parallel with this height. So those two will be same side. So this we already know is 4 meters high. Let's plug in a formula right now, or let's make an equation, I should say, using this formula. If the formula for area of a rectangle is base times height, we can then use this information here to write our equation. Base times height, 5x minus 2. That's the base, times the height of 4 is equal to 52. We have to write the equal to 52 part in here because it's part of the equation. It's part of what we know. We know that if we multiply this value, 5x minus 2, by this value, 4, it would give us an area of 52 because base times height equals area, and the area is 52. The next step would be, after we've written the equation, is to solve the equation. Before I solve the equation, I'm going to rewrite this in a way in which I can properly distribute this 4 to the 5x minus 2. So my next step would be writing the 4 like this, so that I can multiply the 5x and the 2. So I'm using 4 as a distributor. 4, open parentheses, 5x minus 2, close parentheses, equals 52. From there, I'm going to distribute the 4. 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times a negative 2, or 4 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So right now we've got 20x minus 8 is equal to 52. From this point, I'm just going to solve the equation. I'm going to use balancing. So I've got a coefficient on this side. I've got a constant over here. I've got a constant here. I'm going to remove my constant. I'm going to cancel it out. I'm going to add 8 over here and add 8 over here. Before you know it, what we have now is 20x is equal to 60. You could solve for x at this point, and you could determine, once you isolate your x by balancing the 20, you'll get x is equal to something, and then you'll plug that in. 5 times whatever x is minus 2 will give you an actual value over here. You can use that value, whatever it is, this value is, or this length is parallel to this length, these two lengths will be similar. So you can use algebra to solve for missing quantities, even in problems with geometry.